start again. It's a rich
any coding, and this is going to be part of the series that I was talking about on the last video, learning C++. So I decided that instead of doing C++ fundamentals, that's my next video. That, oh my god, all my emails just out like that. That instead of that, I'm going to do this because we are going to be on Visual Studio more since I'm using the Windows laptop. And so, right over here. So, let's get to it. The first thing you're going to see when you open Visual Studios is this page right here. You're going to see the developer news, like it says. Y'all can just ignore this. So this will show you the recent programs you've been working on, right? And just something I have to add because I just noticed it. So if you type in Visual Studios right over here, Visual Studio is going to show, do you want to run it as an administrator or just open it? So what I recommend is that you should always run it as an administrator. That's a weird word, because if you're going to do a file if you're going to create a program that's going to be on your hard drive, it would not let you make changes to it unless if you run it as an administrator. Let me show you an example. Shoot, it may take a while to load, but I don't think I run it as an administrator. So let's see, this PC, local disk. Oh, this is what I meant by hard drive. Your local disk. Okay. JN reminder, whatever. Okay. So, let's create a new project so I can show you what I mean. Alright, so we're gonna call this YouTube, right? Empty project, and we're going to save this in JNN reminder, and we are going to create a new folder is going to come up to make changes to your to the folder, right? And then we're going to rename the folder. We're going to call it YouTube. Let's just call it YouTube like we did with an S. Swoop. Double click, select folder, and okay. I'll take forever. You see what I was talking about? It says access to the path C blah 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 blah. YouTube was denied because you didn't run it as an administrator. So if you cancel out, that ain't gonna take forever. Go to Visual Studio, right? And you click run as administrator. It's going to ask you, do you want to run as administrator? Once you said yes, it's going to load up. It's going to take forever for it to load up. This is, oh my god. I'm going to just pause the video right here and continue when it's done. It up after 2 minutes, right after I pause the video. I'm like, what's the point? So alright, once you click right here, empty projects, see administrator right over there. We're gonna call it the same thing, YouTube browse, so we can put in our administrator file, not administrator, our local disk, so we can save everything we work on. But if y'all cannot run it as an administrator, you could just create a whole new file where you put all your codes, and it doesn't have to be in your local disk. You can put it you can put it anywhere else, but I like to put mine on my local disk. So if y'all like that, you can do like that. So okay, and it shouldn't have that same problem. See, creating YouTube. See, all right. So if you can't run it as your administrator, I don't know if I already said that. Short memory RAM or whatever. But if you can't run it as an administrator, you should just put it in a different file, like away from your local disk, so that way it wouldn't ask you, it wouldn't tell you access denied or whatever. So if you can't do that, you should do this and put it in a different file instead. It's gonna take forever to load. Alright, almost done. Oh, ignore that sound. I was just messing around with stuff. I don't know if it's just my internet or something, because it's taking way too long. Alright, so never mind, still got that little circle going around and around. Okay, so right here it shows you your project name, YouTube. So by the way, if you don't know, if you have an administrator, at your top file right over here, it will say the file name, YouTube, Microsoft Visual Studio, and administrator, to show you run an administrator file. And reference, there's nothing wrong with there. This header file, this is where y'all put the your headers. I'm going to explain that in a later video, what headers are, what C++ classes are, everything else. I'm going to explain that later. And your resources file should fill up once you run your code, but I'm not sure. Alright, so new item. So when you create a new item, it's already going to show you the H file, but the H file should be in the header file. Right over here, you see the header file right there. Right, and the C++ class should be in your source files. But we're not doing that. We're going to do C++, not the class. Right, so then I like to call this main, because this is where my stuff is going. My main code is going to be. So main add shouldn't take this long to add. Alright, so there it is. Home page. This takes you back to your home page. Solution and folders. Pending changes filter. Right. This are, if I'm being honest, irrelevant to me. To this, what we're doing right now. All this view code shows you the code, like right there in the properties. Yeah, I don't want to mess nothing up. But anyway, so the first thing you need to do is add and include file. iOS string should be the first thing you add, because that's like, I feel like that's the main place where all the C++ things you're going to need to create whatever file you need. Is most of it. Well, the main things are going to be in the iOS string. For example, std, my bad, shoot. Example, std count, right? Print, whatever. Print. That's going to be your iOS string. No, iOS string, whatever. In your iOS file, iOS string file, right? But the only thing is problem. They show an error. I don't know if I talked about the error. How do I open it up? Shoot. Okay, so if you want to see if your phone have an error, whatever, you go to your local Windows debugger. Just click run, and it to show you what the error is. Takes forever to run. the program couldn't run because of the error. So once you see that, it'll show you where the error was. Let me move it up a little bit so you can see. Alright, so shoot, oh my god, it's not be this difficult. Okay, so this declaration has no storage class or type specified. So what that means is, so you know how in every video I have int main void, and that right there, see, it removed once I put the int main void. That right there is a class or a storage class, whatever what y'all want to put it as. But once that is gone, example this, once it's gone, the error pop up of this declaration has no storage class. So that's why you need this. So if anybody ever wonder why you needed that error is going to show up. Syntax error missing, ignore this because they just ignore it. Once we rerun the program, it's not going to show that anymore. Missing type specifier, we'll ignore that too. Redefinition, std count, run. You shouldn't show it anymore. I recommend saving your project all the time. Save kids. I recommend saving your project all the time. Oof, come on. Should not be this freaking long. Alright. So once you save your project, then you FK's your computer every time it's off. Right? It's already saved. So see it print. It show print. Alright, so that's the first part of the video I wanted to go over. Second part is this std print, std count. Guess I'll just end up making it all about the video or whatever. So this std count is the most important thing you need to know about C++, because, well, that was the first thing I ever learned. Because y'all know how in every coding language they start with the basics saying hello world. So let's do that, the basics. So you print, I already stopped the program, right? Alright, so hello world. This is what prints whatever you want to say to the computer, right? Right. And you need this sign. Every time you're trying to print something, you need this sign, so whatever you print is, if not, it's going to return an error. Let me show you. Delete. Run. Yes, see, already said failed right over there. Couldn't open file because an error. Is it open? Oh, I didn't save it. My bad. Let's try that one more time. Save. It couldn't open. Is that what it says? Why is it still giving me? You know what? I'm confused about that too. We're learning as we're going. So what did the error say? Expected to blah blah blah. That's weird. Maybe it's just printing what it saw the last time. I don't know. But save. So whatever you want to print will go into this box, and that's if you're printing text. But if you're printing a variable, for example, let's say we print a string variables. Strings are basically words that you have to identify every time. String is an identifier, but since we're not using namespace, std, that way you don't have to type in std all the time. See, string is already put there, but if you don't use it, then you have to type in std dot that and put in your variable name. Let's say stuff equals to stuff, right? And then you could just print the variable. You can just print the variable stuff, and without putting the box in it. Save, run. There's something wrong with my computer or something. Okay. Ain't no BJ. What's up with my computer? Let's see. No operator. No operator matches this. What? Alright, so this must be retarded. Let's try this instead. std count stuff. Run. Are you kidding me? It's maybe because I'm using string, so if I add this string, if it's low, right, that's why. So I had to include the string file because I had to include the string file because so I can create this variable string, so that's where I was having that error. That's another lesson of coding. Sometimes you just have to recheck what you see, read everything. Alright, so it should print now. Hello world stuff, right? But that's not how we wanted it. So to make sure, so y'all can see it now. So to make sure that the stuff right here is away from the hello world, we have to put this sign and in, and then cancel. Jesus, this sign and in. Then we close this, close the page, and save, run. What that does is bring it to the next line, but if you want to bring it to a different table, I think that's what they call it, you just do this and T, save, cancel. Do we already save? Just to make sure, save, run. Need your permission? I don't want to get them ads. Alright. unable to start the Microsoft debug console. If this problem continues, repair the Visual Studio installation. Alright, so maybe this is not the right time to do this. But yeah, it should work. If it doesn't work now on this video, y'all should try it on Paizo. I think I can do it on Paizo. Where is it at? Let's see. New code. Alright, IS stream is already included. Hashtag include stream. Already has user namespace std. So then we go to this line, std. You don't have to use that. So string string stuff equals to stuff, and then we do count print hello world, and then we said we're gonna put it t right, and then we put count stuff. Let's see how that comes out. So you see how it goes, it leaves space and goes to this side. That's what that T does, and that's what I was trying to explain. For some reason my Visual Studio is acting up. Maybe because it's the later date, because I still have the Visual Studio 217 while I'm supposed to have the Visual Studio 219, so maybe that explains why. But that's not the important part. So the next thing we're going to talk about is comments. So comments are basically, if you have a code and you know you're going to work on it, well, if you don't know, just in case, that you're going to come back to the code to see if this is relevant, to see if you're going to see what the whole code is about. The comment, that's what the comments you use for. You can write a comment. For example, this line of codes, I could say stuff. What does stuff do? Print the word stuff. So when you have that, this comment is not going to show in your code. Your computer reads it as, oh, it's the programmer comment, so we should not run it. Then we save, print it out. If Visual Studio keep acting up, I'm just going to switch to Paizo. Alright. So hello world, it didn't print the comment. That's what I was trying to say. But that's one line comment. Then we have another type of comment, which is the multi-line comment. So with that, we have to press this with asterisks, right? See, it already started the comment. But for this, let's say we want to coming out the whole thing. This whole thing turns into a comment, and we do asterisk and this to close the comment, and then we put, let's say we want to say std count love, right? And close the paragraph. Alright, so we save, and the only thing that's going to print out is love. Alright, so this should be the end of the video, but I just want to go over one more thing, because I use this a lot, because I try to create programs that requires users inputs. Right, so the stdc, if y'all see me use it a lot. So what that does, right, so let's create a variable called string me, right? The string me doesn't have My bad. std string me. It should save. Right. This std string me, the me is the name of the variable. The std string is the identifier. Right? That's what you need to create a variable. You need the name of the variable and you need the identifier. The string me does not have any result, is that what I should say? Does not have any value to it. And so if I put this std count, and put the std sin and save it to me, what I'm doing is I'm asking for the user input. So this will print love, right? But whatever I put as std, whatever the user type in for std sin will save to the variable of me. So let's print out std count me. So usually I'll try to explain it. If I put std me without this, it's not gonna show it. It's gonna be sit out. I don't know what it's gonna be, but we're gonna find out. Is there an error? 1 second. Okay, so something's really up with my computer. Or is it Visual Studio? It shouldn't be because it says one succeed. So I don't know. Could you load for me? No? Alright, so we're just gonna use Bezio. So what was I saying? Right. We created a string called me, right? std string me, and we save it to std count love, std sin me, and then we print out std count me. So right here, because that's how Pager work, since you're asking for a user input, you have to put in the input yourself, right? So I'm just gonna say the input is love me. No, just love. No, because then we're gonna get confused with love and love. Dope. Let's just put dope, right? And then we'll say print me. It's loading. Right. So you see how I put, oh shoot, we made a mistake right over here where I put stuff. We put a at. So no, let's put a T because I feel like it. T. But let's put this too. Alright, so this is what's gonna show. It shows love, and then our user input, dope, it showed it too. But if we didn't have that user input, right, let's try and see what it's gonna print out. It doesn't print out anything because it doesn't have any value to its name or whatever, right? So that's all for today. The next region we gonna go into more details about variables, right? And then I think after that we're gonna do a video about conditional and logic statement, which is my favorite one because it includes if statements, switch statements, and so on. Alright, I'll see y'all later.